What are you talking about? Just think the last word or what?
Hello, everyone. I'm Bill Murphy of the Sports Insanity Network, and welcome to another exciting edition of Thursday Night Gridiron. And I am joined by my brother Dan. Hi, Dan.
Oh.
Well, not a lot of people are available this evening, so he's the third. Oh, you've been on. Okay, so tonight we got a. Would you consider this an interesting game or not really?
See, it's definitely a get right game for the Buffalo. We'll see what sort of team are they? Are they simply have shown a lot of injuries over that this year, or do they just have a few and over. On the other hand, you have the Bucs, who are probably the most boring team to watch, but who knows, maybe they'll get a fight.
Okay, well, that's the show. Good night. No, I'm just kidding. But okay, today's game is the Buffalo Bills versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs are coming off of a loss against the Atlanta Falcons. Baker Mayfield went 27 completions for 47 attempts, 275 yards, 6.5 average, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and 3 sacks with a QBR of 45.3. With Russian Rashad White, 13 carries, 34 yards, 2.6 average. Mike Evans, 6 receptions, 82 yards, 13.7 average, 1 touchdown. And you know what? Let's talk about the Bucs first. So I have to ask you, Dan, how do you think the Bucs are adjusting to Baker Mayfield in the post-Brady era?
And you're playing here. He had not. He's not going to be full, and I honestly don't know if he'll be able to.
Yeah, because you know what? I think Baker Mayfield is just a placeholder at this point. What do you think?
You could say that. End of the year. Very tight NFC South. Baker could be enough.
And yeah, because what other veteran quarterbacks do you have out there? You have Carson Wentz, who's a statue.
Yeah,
And you have Matt Ryan, he is old. So I think Baker Mayfield, he's got his weapons. He's got Godwin, he's got Evans. So I think as long as he's getting it to the right targets, I think he's doing fine. But here's the big question: do you think he's a long-term solution?
No. Baker's not a long-term solution for the big Giants. He's best seen as a place game. Keep your level.
Do you think it's time for them to maybe go to the draft, or?
Well, we'll see where they finish, because right now it's very much up in the air. I mean, they do have a good enough team to win division, but they could also go the opposite.
Then again, it's the AFC South. All you got to do to win that division is have a pulse. NFC South. Thank you. Ding. That was for you, Crack. Ding. Yeah, all you got to do to win the NFC South is have a pulse. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, realistically, I would say they're the second best team in the NFC South behind the Falcons.
But again, it's the NFC South. Okay. Do you think Todd Bowles is going to be on the hot seat this year? I think to me, it's kind of hard to say. And here's why. Because last year the Bucs finished below 500 and they still won the division because the NFC South was so bad. because the NFC South is so bad. But they still won it. So do you think if the Bucs could win this division below 500, do you think Todd Bowles saves his job or no?
I mean, I think he does, because once again, the Bucs, no one expected them to be at 10, 11, 12. Just the talent level. Now, I don't think they'll. I don't think they will.
Well, I think if they finish below 500, I think there might be some conversations going on in Tampa right now.
Another coach too. With their talent. No matter who the coach is, you can put Bill Belichick down there.
Hey, he's having his own issues right now. Let's not bring him into this.
Might be bothering me. And that's because they just want to go blind for it. And we switch for the running back position, watch out, play obviously the guy in their offense. I mean, Baker Mayfield, what you see with you is what especially nah, you don't. You have a good defense, good rush defense, I should say, but I mean, this team is not it's not going to be a contender anytime soon.
Yeah, I think they got lucky that year they won the Super Bowl. They got lucky.
I don't say they got lucky, it's just not very good.
I have this joke with someone that we can't see his name 3 times because you know what happens.
What?
He'll find a way to win another Super Bowl. Don't say his name 2 more times. I don't know if you've ever seen before we move on to Buffalo. Actually, do one quick thing about Buffalo, but I mean about Tampa. But have you ever seen like the memes? They have like the Halloween costume memes, and it's a TB12 spotter, and it was Eli Manning.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Okay. What do you think the X factors are the Bucs to win this game?
X factor. So the defense is really going to be good. Without juggernaut offense, it's gonna be hard to. So defense has step up, get some turnovers, take advantage of the turnover that Giants make.
Should I say anything? Because you just said everything for me. But no, I think right now they got to take because Josh Allen. This is going to be a segue as we talk to Buffalo. Josh Allen has 9 turnovers in 7 games so far. So I think the pass defense, the pass rush is going to be a big factor tonight for Tampa Bay. And they need to take advantage of those turnovers by Josh Allen.
The defensive line.
Okay, now we turn over to the Buffalo Bills. Coming off a loss from the New England Patriots, 29-25. Josh Allen went 27 completions for 41 attempts, 265 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, was sacked once. The Russian was 13. James Cook, 13 carries, 56 yards, 4.3 average. 1 rushing touchdown from Josh Allen. And you have receiving touchdowns from James Cook and Stephon Diggs. Okay, we'll make this quick-ish because I know Danny's probably tired of hearing me talk right now. Do you think Josh Allen is playing like Josh?
I mean, yeah. Every quarterback has a knowledge. It's a bit of a rough patch, but I think he got it back in the second half of last weekend. We'll keep it rolling.
I think he's been having a hard time finding his footing a little bit again because I just think right now he's just the Bills, and we'll get to this in a minute because I got a lot to say on this.
He sucks.
I don't know what just happened. Hey, it's Danny Boy Reds.
Yeah. So sorry,
But
Dan. Thank you so much for filling in.
hey, do you mind if he stays around?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Please. We always want him on. Something came up. I did not answer your phone call because I did not know you were calling me. I was on silence. I was so sorry. This is a complete on me. Didn't mean to do it. Oh my god, I feel so horrible. But yeah, continue. Sorry.
We've been holding down the fort, but hey, stay. The more the merrier. But anyway, you know what, Reg, I'm gonna ask you. Do you think Josh Allen is playing like Josh Allen?
No, not the Josh Allen we've seen. But I think a lot of it is because he's regressed. Not every quarterback regresses. Josh Allen has regressed. I think.
Sorry to speak over you, but I would say it's a temporary. I think Josh Allen's fine.
Oh, and it could very well be a little stopgap type of thing. Maybe he doesn't have the right coaching around him. Maybe he's doing too much because he thinks he can do a lot and get away with it and all that stuff. It's all up here and it's all personnel around him. I think with better weapons, he wouldn't have to feel like he needs to trust himself more, which has ruined it really for him.
Because
when he's at his best, he has weapons around him.
He's got Dalton Kincaid. He's got Stephon Diggs.
Right.
He's got Gabe Davis, who's been off. Who's been kind of good for him. There's talks right now. The Bills are possibly thinking about trading for Adam Thielen, and I think that would be great to add another weapon to Josh Allen right there.
Yeah. I mean, you have to give him the weapons, but you also have to make sure that you manage his mistakes, and that's coaching. Like, who's around him that's going to make that decision?
Okay. Yeah, so what do you think is the cost for this Bills slow start?
I don't know if I think the league is just getting better, except for the Patriots. But I don't know. I just don't think the Bills are as good as they think they are. They're a good team, but I don't know if they're as good as they think they are. Like, sometimes I question, and I think with legitimate criticism about the way the team is really made up, and frustrating because the Bills always have a good team. For the last 8 years, the Bills have shown like something of competence in football, but I don't know, something just not clicking right now.
Yeah, and things, Dan, you've been saying it's the injuries that are probably going off to the slow start.
Defense kind of been struggling, a little lackadaisical. Obviously, they got Tre'Davious White out and their linebacker Matt Milano. So you're kind of running that. I mean, those are arguably the two most important players in that defense. So your defense isn't as strong as you've seen in the past. And when that's the case, Josh Allen makes the mistakes that maybe he's made in the past. Defense is going to provide the safety blanket. Have them. And sometimes mistakes.
Absolutely. You got to see Josh Allen make those stupid mistakes live in person.
Yes. First game against the Jets. So.
But which was probably one of Reg's happiest days, except for Aaron Rodgers going down.
Funny.
I think the injuries are causing this. But you know what? This is the big question I've been wanting to ask, and this is a hill I'm going to die on, and I don't care what people think.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think the Bills are overrated. Do you guys agree or disagree?
I don't know if overrated is the word I would use. I understand why you would say that. I think the Bills are not properly rated. I think the Bills are as good as they are, but they overhyped themselves a little bit.
Okay, maybe
It's not about
overhyped's a better
it's not
word.
about I mean we don't think the Bills. I think the Bills are just as they are. A lot of people think that they're okay. Like to me, a lot of people don't think they're Super Bowl contenders. Like I think people sort of expected a step back from the Bills this season. Like they didn't do anything to improve their running game. They didn't do a lot to improve the receiving game.
This all they think
And
is okay. Josh
yeah,
Allen, Stephon Diggs. That's it.
yeah,
We're good.
exactly. So I don't know. Overrated is it's a tough word. I don't think that's it.
I think overhyped is maybe the better way to describe it because my thing is the Cowboys are like this in the NFC. I would say the Bills are like this in the AFC. There's always hype for them. This is our year. This is our year. This is our year. And then what happens? You
Right.
lose in the playoffs and you're done. So that's why I always think the Bills are overrated because there's always this hype that this is going to be their year. This is going to be their year. This is going to be their year. And what happens?
Exactly.
They lose in the playoffs. And speaking of the Bills, I have to ask, what the AFC East? Do you think they're going to catch Miami, or do you think Miami's going to run away with this? Danny?
I mean, I want to say Miami. Honestly, Miami's a bit of a fraud team, in my opinion, because they've had a soft schedule up to this point, and yes, they've taken care of the bad teams, but they've also looked really bad against the Bills and the Eagles, who really a good team to play. So, I would say the Bills will eventually overcome the Dolphins. I think the Bills are going to rate the ship. So, at the end of the season, when the first Miami second.
Yeah, but because you know what, and Brett, Dan, I'll let you I'll let you get what you got to say in a second. But what you got to look at this Bills team. This kind of ties into the previous question. You lost to the Pats, who are absolute trash right now, and then the week before, you barely beat our beloved New York Giants. Barely beat. And you got lucky because there was no call at the end of the game. I'm still not happy about that. Yeah, I think it's time to let that go. But anyway, but like that is a game, and I want to talk about that for a quick second. That was a game you should have, and this is coming from a lifelong Giants fan who has the poster right there. That was a game you should have thrashed the Giants. Like you lost to a team that you barely beat a team that you should have thrashed, and you just got lucky at the end because there was no call. So that's what ties into for me for the Bills being overrated. And you lost to a trash team last week against New England, but
But they also beat Miami 48-20.
That is true. That is true. So I'll give them that. But the AFC East, I think the Bills could catch Miami.
They're only one game back.
They're one game back, and you got to look at it this way. And Reg, you're going to like me this. I wouldn't even count the Jets out of this. I
No,
wouldn't even count the Jets out.
no. I think the Jets they're gonna be the tail end of those three. So ultimately, I think the Jets will be third. Take care. But I do think that the Dolphins and Bills are gonna, because they both have a pretty tough road ahead of them. They're not necessarily I don't think that they're they're not, it's not an easy schedule for either of them. That's what I'm trying to say. So I think that right now the Bills and Dolphins both have pretty tough schedules that they both have to deal with, and it would hit the Bills more because now I think the pressure's on them after that. They lose to the Patriots. I think the pressure's on them.
Yeah. But yeah, what I was saying about with the Jets, though, like, I think that AFC East is tighter than people think it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what is your X factor for Buffalo tonight?
I think the receiving game has to come clutch because the running game's there. Cook is good. Allen can do his own thing too. If the receiving game gets it going and no drop passes, nice play calling, and Josh Allen doesn't turn over the ball, I think they have something. It should be a fairly simple game. This is Tampa Bay Bucks. They don't, to me, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers don't scream good team. They actually, scream something mediocre at best. And I know it's a hot take, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not sold on the Bucks right now. I'm not sold on the Bills either, but I think that there's something there that the Bills can work with. It's just about how they utilize what they have.
Yes. So my X factor tonight is going to be one, you got to protect Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
I think
That's
the
another big
offensive
thing.
line's got to come through and protect Josh Allen. And I think the defensive X factor, cover Godwin and cover Evans. Those are two things you gotta cover those two receivers. And yeah, so that's what I think is going to be the X factors tonight. So anyway, Reg, you know what time it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
We gotta get like something cool to lead into that, but
yeah,
we don't have the money for that.
We'll think of something.
We will think of something. Okay,
Yeah.
I got 3 questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go. Who do you think is the bigger fraud, the 49ers or the Dolphins?
None of them are frauds. They're just I just think they're hitting a rough patch. I think the Dolphins have a tough schedule. I think the Niners
Injuries
and I just don't that, and also I think we're starting to see for the very first time Brock Purdy actually have flaws in his game. That for the longest time we were like, oh, this guy's perfect. Where the hell did this guy come off the street? What the hell? Now we can start seeing flaws. Oh, well, maybe he doesn't respond to pressure very well. Maybe when certain weapons aren't there, he isn't as good. So that it's more of that thing. And then of course the Dolphins, they just lost to a good Eagles team. And look, while I think the Eagles are certainly overrated, I don't think that the Eagles are a bad team.
me neither.
So yeah, it's those factors. I don't think they're overrated.
So, okay, question 2. Since we didn't do a show last week, what did you think of Roger Goodell's contract extended, short version?
It's time for this guy to go. I'm sorry.
Agreed.
I mean, look, Roger Goodell, from the officiating fiasco to players kneeling during the national anthem,
or if you want to go back further, how he handled the whole Ray Rice situation.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. Like, I'm sorry. Like, this guy, there's been controversy after controversy after controversy. This is far worse than Rob Manfred. At least the game of baseball is like fairly clean on certain issues, and everything's done in uniform. The players here, you could, and I understand, both are just terrible commissioners, but Goodell takes the cake. This guy's an embarrassment to the league, like, overall, and everyone does not like him.
Oh, I don't like him.
Yeah. So no, controversy after controversy. The referees are a disgrace. Um, overall, like it's just he does not make an advancement to the league. He doesn't, and the fact that we continue to parade over this guy is ridiculous.
I think it's time for new blood. I think it's time for Hidalgo.
Yeah.
Okay, and next, but now fun question. Halloween's this Tuesday. Reg, what's your favorite Halloween type movie?
Halloween Town.
Okay.
Yeah, I know it's such a cheesy kid movie, but Halloween Town. Every time I watch Halloween movies, Halloween Town is one of those movies that I watch. So Halloween, if not that, I don't know. Something with a Freddy Krueger, I guess.
Hey,
Nightmare on Elm Street type of thing.
for me, if it's if you're talking actual horror movies, I'm gonna say Scream,
Okay.
which, to be honest, it's really scary.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
those are the only the ones I could think of, to be honest.
If you want something that's not really scary, I'm a big Tim Burton guy, so I'm gonna go Nightmare
Okay.
Before Christmas.
Okay, that's a good one. Oh, by the way, that is definitely a Halloween movie, not a Christmas movie.
That's a debate for another podcast.
But yeah, no, okay, it's Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, I go night.
I think it could be seen as both, but this is not the podcast to discuss that.
Yeah. No. Halloween Town for me.
Okay.
Always a staple during Halloween time.
To each their own. Okay,
Yeah.
so what's your prediction for tonight?
I think. Look, it's gonna be a close one. I think the Bills will ultimately find a way to win. In close games, I just don't trust Todd Bowles to coach well. He's never coached.
No, you've dealt with him as the New York as Jets coach.
Yeah, and I know in 2015 he did very well in close games, but lately I just don't trust him, and I don't know if a team led by Baker Mayfield. Yeah, as much as I like Baker, and I love Baker Mayfield. I just don't think this team like right now is ready to compete with the team like the Buffalo Bills. If the Buffalo Bills lose this game, I really think that the criticism really has to start. It's time. They're due.
Yes. I think the Bills are going to win this game too. They should win big, but I think this game could be close as well. Okay, so if the good people want to know more about us, Reg, where do they go?
You go to the sportsinsanitynetwork.com. Please read about it. We have blogs. And of course, read about our history and read about our podcast, all that stuff. You also have to go on to our social media pages. On X, we're at S Insanity Real. And then on Facebook as well, S Insanity Real. And then on our YouTube page, every Thursday, right here, Thursday Night Gridiron. Sunday Sideline Report is Sundays. And here and there, we may have a pop-up live show. You never know.
You never know. Depends on what type of mood we're in.
Yeah. So please keep in touch our socials, and we'll let you know when stuff is going on our YouTube page.
So for Danny Boy Reginald and my brother Dan, thanks for helping me there, Dan.
Yeah, thank you, brother Dan. Appreciate you, man.
I'm Bill Murphy from Bill Corpus Crispy Murphy from the Sports Insanity Network. So stay safe and take care.